And welcome everyone, welcome to SimpleRockets 2. This is an early access title, major release version is 0.9. I've been playing this for some time, and previous versions, and it plays very much like Kerbal Space Program, obvious similarities. As we head into the designer you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's like KSP, but with just procedural parts installed. It's a lot of fun. Right now there is only two ways, the sandbox and the challenge mode. There is going to be a career mode once it goes to full release, but that's not in just yet. Okay, so in this early part of this series, we're going to go through the challenges. As many as I can actually get through at least. Then we'll head on to sandbox and do a little bit of exploring of the other planets in the system. Okay, so the first challenge is called maximum thrust. So we have to build a rocket that can exceed a speed of 750 meters per second before it reaches an altitude of 2 kilometers or 2,000 meters above ground level. You must fly straight up. If you drift sideways more than 100 meters, then you will fail this challenge. So we can't drift sideways at all. So we shall head in to the designer. Okay, so first of all we start with just a command pod. Now, the thing is, this does weigh quite a significant amount in mass. Just over a ton. Just over 1,000 kilos. 625,000. So I want to change this out for just a probe core. So exactly the same as KSP. We have probe cores. The command section just there. We want this. See, we've got quite a few. We've got Komodo command pod. The standard, pretty square version. Vroz space capsule, and we've got the Patriot. We've also got some little, we've got a test dummy, and we've actually got an astronaut. Cost 6 million. See, right now in this particular early part of the challenges, there's no actual limits in price, but later on down the list, you do start to get restrictions in price and or mass or fuel that you can use. Okay, so I want to replace this with a command chip, so we take that. It's 50k and 20 kilos, so it's a significant change in our mass. So I want to make this into the primary part, so then we can get rid of the actual command pod. So we go into here, part properties, and select right there. Get rid of that now. And we're left with the pod. Not the pod, we're left without the pod. So we're left with just the chip. Okay, so we've got the nose cone. And you effectively just shape everything. If it actually lets me add this on, which it probably won't let me add it on. Let's add this first then. So we've got the tank. There we go, now we can add that. So as you can see from the arrows, you've got green, which affects the... We don't want to make it too bulky, or sideways. So we don't need a huge amount of fuel. What we do need is acceleration. Obviously we need to reach 750 meters a second. So we need enough fuel to do that. I think 3 meters. I think that's about it. So we need an engine. So we've got we've got several to choose on. We can also completely customise the engine as well. Its efficiency, the size of the bell, the throat size, which affects the ISP. So I think we'll start with the Pixie Engine. See what that does. So left click on any part, click on the properties, and you can change every aspect. So we've got 67 kilos right now, 121,000. Activation group none. That's fine. Size is only 75% of normal, so I think we'll increase that to 100%. Okay. It's not too bad. Okay, let's see what the performance is. So right now, by itself, the engine would be providing 78.3 kilonewtons. High speed is 255 seconds. TWI 70.15. Obviously, the actual craft itself, it's only giving us 1.33. The easiest way to actually affect that is to either use one of these sliders. We've got chamber pressure. High chamber pressure can increase the thrust and efficiency, but at additional cost. So I put that right up because there's no limitations right now. Gimbal range is obvious, we know what that is. That's how far the nozzle can move from its centre. We've got the belt nozzle style. I'll change to a cone. We shouldn't need that being all the way down to there. So it tells us exactly what TWR and ISP is at the pad. That's what we really need to know right now. We're not going to get into a vacuum, that is for certain. Not just yet. So we've got delta. We've got the aero spike. Back to bell again. Okay, so we've got throat size. So increasing the throat size can increase thrust, but will decrease the nozzle ratio. It decreases efficiency in a vacuum. In other words, that reduces ISP, vacuum ISP. Doesn't bother us. So we'll increase that. Right, so you can see the TWR building. Nozzle length. Increasing nozzle length can increase the nozzle ratio. It will improve vacuum efficiency, but it can decrease sea level efficiency and it adds additional mass and cost. We'll leave that alone for now. So we've got different types of fuel. We've got liquid. We've also got electric power cycle. That's how the engine gets its fuel. That's how the turbo pumps work. Easiest way to increase power is to change that to gas generator. As you can see, 18-second burn time and 9.35 on TWR. Gas generator 2. Again, increases it to 22.2. Is that 2.8? Yeah, 0.28 and only 6-second burn time. And you see the size of the engine when you go to gas generator. Got different types of fuel as well. I'll go back to stage combustion and it gives us 6 seconds and 25.03. I think we need full flow stage. And pressure fed. TWR is 0.13. I think we shall choose gas generator 2. And I think we shall increase the size. No, we won't. We'll decrease the size of the engine back down to 75. Bit more manageable. Down to 14.4. So it's an 11-second burn time at full throttle. So I think we'll increase the size of the tank just a little bit. We'll go to about 5 meters. Oops. That's about 5 meters. I don't know why it does that. Very strange. But it might help stability. So we'll leave that as it is. As you can see, I mean, the tank matches what the engine needs. So that's okay. Okay, it's got 8.6 TWR and 41.66 at maximum. Delta V is 3,440 meters a second. We don't really need that amount, but we shall leave it as it is. Okay, so I think we'll rely on the gimbal of the engine for stability. We'll head out and we shall test this version. 8.6 meters. So 8.6 TWR. It's got a 20-second burn time. Okay. Just unlock these. It's just so I can see it. It's the primary way they actually control in SimpleRockets. Via these. They are a little bit faded sometimes depending on what the background colour is. Okay, we're going to lock to heading. We're going to lock to directly up. So we've got look north, lock east, lock west, and lock south. We've got lock up and lock down. Once you plot a vector effectively in the map view, as in plot a maneuver node, you then get those to lock to as well. But right now we don't have that. So open information. Go to velocity. I think we'll unlock performance. Just take an eye over these, glance an eye over these, and keep an eye on these as well. So we are just under 13 tons. I thought it was a little rocket. Okay, so here we go. So full throttle. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. 750. Ah, not quite. Okay. Okay, so back into designer and keep setting that up to there. We don't want to know about that. 8.6. Easiest way is just to increase the size of the engine. Also that increases mass as well though. But not too much. So we'll go to 100%. It was only just shy of that. Got to 14.01 TW at the pad and 51.3 at maximum. So obviously that means with the tank empty, at which point the engine has got no fuel and it won't burn anywhere. We've got 11-second burn time. Let's increase the size of this a little bit. Increase stability down to 12.15. That's significantly higher than 8.6. That should do it. Okay, let's head straight back out and try it the second time. Okay, back out at the launch site for the second time. Velocity and performance. Lock to heading and lock up. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's keep an eye on that altitude. Yep, so not quite again. So 714 meters per second. Still only 0.3 lateral movement. Let's head back into designer and give it a little bit of an extra boost. We should easily be able to do this the third time. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze just a little bit more TWR. So we've got plenty of fuel, so we don't really need all the fuel that we've got in this tank, so we can shorten it down a little bit. I'll keep the increasing width at the bottom of the tank. Oh, it's about 4 meters, I think. Okay, now what do we get? Strange, only 10.83. Yeah, one's a little bit wider for some reason. When you shorten it down, it goes wide at the bottom. Okay. So we've got 10-second burn time. That should be enough. 16.01. So that's about 3 point something TWR extra. That should be enough. Okay, let's head out for the third, hopefully the final time. Third time lucky. As you can actually achieve the objective. Okay, so hopefully for the final time. Lock to heading. Lock up. Let's put a little bit. Okay, so TWR should be just high enough. Okay, so full throttle is on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we've got to 824 meters per second, only 0.2 lateral movement this time. Okay, so that's the first challenge completed, third time. Okay, so that's the end of this first challenge.